Hi, I'm Christopher. Today we will take a look at how to install the Atlas Ldap ETL to pull metadata from your Ldap server and make it available to the Atlas ETLs. So first we'll come onto GitHub and copy the clone URL for the repository. In Visual Studio Code, we can do the clone git repository option again. Paste in the URL. We will find our install folder and clone it there. Once the code has downloaded, we can open. Inside, you'll see a file called Ldap database creation script. We'll copy that code and go into SSMS. I'm still working on local DB here, so I'm going to do a new query, paste that in and run it, and it will create a database for us called Ldap. So the ETL will go onto your Ldap server and scrape out what we need and save it into that database. Then the primary Atlas ETL will pick it up from there. Next, we'll create a folder in here called .env, which will have the database connection string and passwords. On the README on GitHub, there's an example file we will copy down. So the parameters in there you'll replace with the parameters for your organization. You put in the database connection string that for the database we've just created. Search bases are where your users are. Group search bases are where the users' groups are. So in your Ldap, you will have groups assigned to users probably, like email distribution groups, shared rooms, shared mailboxes. For example, I'm part of the analytics shared mailbox. Those are the areas that will show up in the group searches. To find those, you can use the Active Directory Explorer tool from Microsoft. You can sign into that using your Ldap server name and then your credentials. In the left bar, you will have your bases listed. So if you expand the primary one, you'll see the different categories that you have. So in my example, I'm using employees for the users, and there's one in there called room and shared mailboxes for shared email boxes. So update everything in this file with what you need. This ETL is written in Python, and we use Poetry to manage the dependencies. So we'll install the dependencies we need. And finally, we can run the ETL. Now, in this case, I didn't update everything in the env file, so it won't run correctly for me, but this is how you would run it. So that's the manual way. The automated way, we recommend using Atlas Automation Hub. So we'll copy the git clone URL again, head to Atlas Automation Hub, and we'll make a new project there where we will put all the Atlas ETLs. We're just going to put a schedule, cron schedule. We'll run it every day at 5 o'clock in the morning. You can save that schedule and add a task. We'll call this one Ldap. Data source will be a Python script, and the script processing script will be coming from git URL. We'll paste in the address, and the command we were running was ldap.py. So now we can add in the parameters that we had in the env file. All of those need to be copied over. Put the name in one side and the value in the other. All right, once everything's copied, we can go down, we can say add task at the bottom and run it. And if you go into the logs tab, you can see it kind of in action. So it loaded the parameters to clone the repository from GitHub, created a Python environment, and then it's installing the dependencies. Finally, you see it tried to run. It didn't run because I didn't update the environment variables, but if you had updated those, it would have run successfully. Next, we'll take a look at the Crystal ETL. It's very similar to this one. We'll also run it in its Automation Hub using Python.